Can I ask you about Jurgen Klopp and why he dropped the word replay into conversation so casually, so offhand after the events of the previous 5 days? How calculated do you think it was, and what was the outcome that he actually wants here?
I don't know. I've sort of flip-flopped on this, whether it was sort of almost an accident that he was just sort of thinking out loud, or whether there was more calculation behind it. Clearly, they won't get a replay. I mean, there's no way they can be given a replay because, how do you determine a mistake is big enough to be worth a replay? Maybe is he trying to pressure Tottenham? So Tottenham come out and say, "Oh, actually, yeah, okay, we'll play the game again." I don't think there's any reason why they should do that. I suspect it's probably, if it is calculated, it's more playing to his base, sort of trying to generate that sense among Liverpool fans, maybe Liverpool players as well, that everybody's against us. That classic sort of Ferguson siege mentality thing. I think it's a really dangerous line to take. I think there's enough tribalism and enough conspiracy theories without managers sort of stoking them. But I mean, it seems to me the reaction among certainly people on social media was largely to laugh at it, and sort of everybody probably saying, "Oh, can we replay this game against Liverpool from when you scored this offside goal against us, or when we weren't given this penalty which had clearly been given, or when you got this penalty for whoever diving." And I think that's actually the right response. It is an absurd idea because referees get things wrong. Just because we've got the audio of this and because it's a really sort of egregious error, it doesn't change the fact that when the final whistle blows, that is it. The result is final and stands. I think that's the way it's got to be. Otherwise, you'll never finish a league season. But I think what it did touch on is this sort of wider issue, which I'm not really sure people have fully grasped. But I think the Premier League does have this sort of crisis of credibility at the minute. Not just about refereeing and VAR decisions often seeming to be wrong, but with the fact that City still have 115 charges against them and we don't know how it's going to play out, the fact that Everton, we're still waiting to hear what their sanction may be for potentially having breached FFP. There's a lot of questions about a lot of things, and I don't think English football should be blasé about the significance of that. I think we've seen in other sports, I think we've seen in say, Italy in football, once trust becomes eroded, it's very, very hard to get it back. And once it goes, that product is not so attractive anymore.